We ready to rock? Everyone's here, and let's get started.
Okay, man. So we were going to talk today about what we need to do on our websites to be able to basically make money. We are here to serve people, to give good service, add to people's value, and also we're here to make a living and to better our lives. Okay, so part of that, comes from our traffic and sales, which is that's how you're going to make money. It's no, everybody that's here listening, I'm sure you haven't heard. This is the not first time you hear this. That for anyone to make money online, they have to have two things. They have to have traffic, and they have to be able to convert that traffic into either someone who's paying them or somebody who becomes a part of their database, like giving their email. You can have all the traffic in the world, but if they're not converting, you're not going to make any money. And vice versa. I mean, you can be converting really, really good, but if nobody's coming in there to your website to convert, you're still not making money. So those two things are essential for success. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so today we're going to cover the ultimate key to more sales. We're also going to cover conversion strategies that work right now, and some things that I'm doing, some ninja stuff that me and Neil are working towards, some traffic tactics, and some next frontier, next steps of what we're going to do with those traffic. Next slide, please.
Okay, thanks, Sam. I'll cover the next section for you. So
Okay.
appreciate it. So here's what we're going to be doing today. In the next couple of slides, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of how Sam created some ninja landing pages and some of the psychology behind that. And then we're going to dive deep into and show you actual real life examples of some ninja techniques that work right now. So one of the biggest mistakes that we see when they try to make sales online or to get traffic online is they kind of like put the cart before the horse. Okay, so what happens is most of us are really interested in traffic, but without actually testing, you can get all the traffic in the world, but without actually without testing the traffic to see if it converts, you're going to lose a lot of money and be frustrated in the process and not really get what you're actually looking for. And the second critical key to getting more traffic is knowing your numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about conversion in the next section, and then Sam will show you how he's created absolutely ninja conversion pages that's really going to help you focus on some of the conversion before we dive into the traffic. Now, before we go into the actual physical pages that Sam has created on conversion, the best resource that I found online for conversion itself and the ideas to get people to take action is what we refer to as Dr. Cialdini, who wrote this book on influence. If you haven't heard of Dr. Cialdini, he's probably written one of a New York Times best-selling book on how to get people to take action. So after thinking about this and after hearing to Robert Cialdini, he's came up with what we refer to as the six weapons of conversion. Okay, so if we can, as marketers, can implement some of these conversion tactics and strategies, which Sam will reveal to you in real live examples just now, if we can input these into anything we do in conversions, it'll automatically help you boost your conversion rate. Now, Cialdini, Dr. Robert Cialdini, for those of you who don't know, is currently a professor at one of the universities, I think in Arizona, and he's done real live experiments trying to figure out the things that actually get people to take action. Okay, so in Dr. Robert Cialdini's methodology to get people to take action, there's really six areas that one needs to think of from a marketing perspective. And if you cover the six areas, you have a better chance of conversion than the next person. Okay, so the first thing Dr. Robert Cialdini talks about, so sorry, if you know this already, I apologize. I'm just going to cover this for people that may have not heard of Dr. Robert Cialdini, and I'll give a few examples of how to apply this in your marketing soon. Okay, so the first weapon of conversion that Dr. Robert Cialdini talks about is reciprocity. We're wired from birth to do things for other people if they do things for us. That's just the way we are, and that's human nature. So one of the examples Dr. Robert Cialdini gives in his book on reciprocity and how to use this to get more clients is the Hare Krishna organization. So for most of you who don't know, the Hare Krishna are the bunch of guys that stand around the roadsides. They play all this Hindu type of music. They built $1 billion organization. I'll repeat that. They built $1 billion organization just purely by asking people for donations. So here's how they did this. In Dr. Robert Cialdini's book, he says, like, what they did was they initially went out and started asking people for donations, and they found that not a lot of people actually gave them any donations at all. So what the Hare Krishna movement did was they ended up working in airports, and at the airport, this was before the security, obviously, that's around today. So what they did in the airport is, before they asked for a donation, what they did is they went up to a person and they just pinned a flower on their jacket, on their tie, or on their dress. Okay? So what happened was, when they pinned flowers on people, all of a sudden, you felt compelled to reciprocate or to do something good for them. So what most people did was, they took out money and they actually gave them a donation because they just felt they could not do that. And it was so funny because what people used to do is they used to walk around in the airports and actually throw away the flowers. So these Hare Krishna guys used to go dig into the bin and actually take the flowers and put it on someone else. So anyway, they end up building a $1 billion business because of that. The second weapon of influence is a term called commitment and consistency. And what Dr. Robert Cialdini said is very simply this: if we start on a course of action, very little can stop us as human beings, because once we've made up our mind to do something, we will take action, and we should input some of this into our marketing. So here's an example he uses in his book. They went to one of the richest neighborhoods in the US, and I believe it was somewhere in California. Sam, probably your neighborhood. And what they did was, they went to the most beautiful homes in the neighborhood. Now we're talking multi-million-dollar homes. And they knocked on the door and they told the people living in there, look, what we want to do is provide, we want to help safe driving in the neighborhood. So we don't want anyone driving like maniacs. You have kids running around here, and we want to promote safe driving. So here's what we want to do. We want to put this 10 feet by 10 feet board on your lawn. We want to come in, tear up your beautiful lawn. We want to put this board so when everyone driving past this neighborhood can look at it and they'll know it's a safe driving neighborhood and will be okay. So you can imagine what happened, right? They went to this multi-million-dollar homes. People thought they were absolutely crazy, and apparently only 15% of the people said yes to put this 10 feet by 10 feet board on their lawn. So what Dr. Robert Cialdini did was, he said, okay. They went back to the same group like months later, and they knocked on the door and they said, hey, by the way, people, do you mind promoting driver safety? And do you mind putting this small sticker on your window so that, when someone drives by, they can actually look at it? Now, the sticker was so small, you couldn't even see it. Almost 90% of the people said, yeah, sure, we'll promote driver safety. So they put the sticker on the window. So what they did was, now that this person committed and said, yes, they want to do it, put the sticker on the window, they went back 2 weeks later and they asked these people to put this 10 feet by 10 feet board on their lawn, right? And you can imagine how ugly that is in a rich neighborhood. And you know what? At least 60% said yes after putting the sticker on the window. So it's kind of weird. And the psychology behind this of what they're trying to promote is that if you can get people to take the first step and say yes, okay, most people will follow through and take the next step with you. So that's another ninja tactic. Okay, the third tactic, very quickly, is social proof. And social proof is basically saying, if others are doing it, so if your friends or family went and watched a movie and they absolutely love it, or they went to a restaurant and they told you about it and they absolutely love it, guess what's going to happen? Chances are you are going to be influenced by that and take action. Okay? Liking is the fourth weapon. And what it means is that, very simply, people will do business with other people they know, trust, and like. Okay, so if they can see you, they know who you are, and they feel they get a good vibe from you, they will actually follow up and take action with you. And one of the ways of applying this, and you'll see this a little later, is actually creating videos and putting that on your conversion pages. Because if you put a video on your conversion pages, people can actually get to know you, see you, and like you, and maybe want to take action with you. If you're not very likable, you don't want to put a video on your website. I'm just kidding. Okay, the fifth weapon is authority, and this is a big one. Actually, last night I saw a demonstration of authority right before my eyes, and I really couldn't even believe it. I was watching the late night news last night, and then in Chicago, Chicago is a high crime area, they arrested this 19-year-old kid. And here's what he's done. Here's his crime. So what this kid did was he put on a Chicago cop uniform. He walks directly into a Chicago police station. He joins another patrol officer on patrol for the day, gets in the car, just joined this patrol officer, goes around impersonating a cop with another real life cop. Okay? And the thing is, absolutely, the cop didn't know about it. The precinct he walked into didn't know about it. A few weeks later, they figured out that this kid was on patrol with another officer, impersonating another officer, and he actually, got fined for that. So now he's in jail for impersonating a police officer. So they interviewed the captain of the precinct and asked him, so how was this possible? How did this kid actually impersonate, get into a patrol car with another officer, and act as a police officer for the day? And he said very simply, the reason he probably got away with it was because he had a police Chicago, a police officer's uniform on for that day. Okay, and because they thought he was in a position of authority just by having that uniform on, no one even thought anything about it, and he was a 19-year-old kid that did that. Okay, now he obviously used authority for a bad reason. We don't want to do that, right? So from Dr. Cialdini's perspective, if you can act as an authority, if you got qualifications, or even if you don't have qualifications, if you can act as an authority in your area, people will automatically deem you as an authority. A good example of this is Leanne. For a lot of you who don't know Leanne, I strongly suggest you get to know her. Leanne's a great fitness trainer and professional, and one thing Leanne does really well is she appears on her local news stations in her local market. And as a result of that, she's got all those YouTube video clips. She puts it up into YouTube. She puts it on into her website, and she acts as an authority in her field. Sam's an authority in his field because of his credentials, Dr. Sam Bhatia, but also because Sam does really well. He's got video clips. He appears in conferences, and people who come to his gym know Sam in his local market. So there's different ways of actually using authority to help you get what you want, and people are automatically influenced by that. Just putting on, looking good, being in your workout gear, going on video and showing people what you do in your gym, that can position you as an authority. You do not need any qualification to do that. And lastly is the idea of scarcity. The less things people have, the more they want it. So the less, iPhone's a great example or iPad's a great example. 80% of the population can't afford them, and one of the reasons they do so well is that it's expensive and people can't afford them, and they obviously want them or desire them. So the less of something that's available, the less scarce it is, the better chances are that people want it. Okay, so on the next slide here, I've taken you through some of the theory behind the weapons of influence, and this 5 weapons actually going to help you with conversions. So if you can apply that, it'll really help you. So here's what's going to happen next. Sam's going to walk you through some real live ninja strategies of how he's using these weapons to create conversion pages, and we're going to be testing this out over the coming weeks. So Sam, I'm going to be moving you to slide 6.
All right. So we all know, the Robert Cialdini's weapons of influence. We all know how people can be persuaded, and but it seems like most landing pages and most squeeze pages, they're doing the same old that everybody's been doing all along. So, I sat down and I thought. I'm like, what can I do to create that urgency, create that scarcity, create the liking, create the social proof. And then I came up with one of these pages. So if you see right here, this is one of the landing pages that I'm testing right now, and I think should be live on Friday if everything goes well with Google and if everything gets approved. So if you see this right here, this is basically what I call it is like a daily deal special. It's like, you know how we have, the reason Groupon does so well is A, they have the list, but then, you know, the scarcity, and the main reason that most people get featured on the Groupon, what do they ask you? They ask you, they want to look at your website because they want to see that you have a lot of testimonials, aka social proof. And they also want to see a lot of reviews on sites like Google, Yelp, Yahoo, you know, City Search and all that. Because if you don't have good reviews, then they're not going to feature you. Obviously, they can send all the traffic, but if you don't have the social proof and you don't have the reviews that say you're good, then you're not going to convert, which means that you're not going to make money, and definitely they're not going to make money, and they're not going to feature you. So here, if you look at this, I have the countdown timer, which says 7 minutes and 17 seconds left right there. So as soon as somebody lands on that page, the countdown timer starts coming down. So they know it's a scarcity model, right? So, and here's at the top, it has a very convincing headline. It says Bootcamp Daily Deal Special, 1 month of unlimited indoor bootcamp at the bootcamp in Chino for only 49 bucks, normally 197. So I'm basically running a Groupon deal. I'm basically running a Groupon deal on Facebook ads, you know, and you know, the headline is going to say on the Facebook ad, you know, we're testing them when it says, you know, Chino Hills Bootcamp, get 80% off right now, click here. You know, and obviously we all know that the best, if you don't know this by now, but the best pictures that are proven to work on Facebook, believe it or not, is a good-looking female in some cute workout clothes. I mean, that's just a fact. So we're going to put that in there. So when somebody goes in there and clicks on it, they come to this page, the countdown timer is going down. There's a video of me auto-playing. It says, hey, this is Sam. You know, as you can see that, you know, the time, you know, up there is coming down and we don't have much time. But if you put your name, your email address, your phone number, and the coupon code, Google, you know, I put it right there, Google, will get right back with you and we'll get you this special right away. And then if you scroll down the page, if there's a way we can scroll down the page, you know, there's there it is. You can see a bunch of before and after pictures and a bunch of our reviews posted. So there it is. I mean, you got a bunch of people, a bunch of testimonials, a bunch of social proof. You got the scarcity, you got the offer, and you know, you let them know that, you know, this is, like I said, this is a limited time offer, and you know, this is almost like a daily deal special. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So what are the main conversion tactics used in the following conversion pages? So let's look at this for a second. So this is the, you know, the fat flush. You know, this is the fat flush that we all seen, you know, and this is a page that I put in actually on shopping cart. We all know that the more times people gotta click, the less conversion rate you're gonna get. That's a fact. The more they gotta do, the less they're going to do, which means the less you're going to get paid. So if you see this right here, I put this web page on the shopping cart. Usually you're going to see the you know, the 14-day fat flush, you know, the copy, and what you got to do is scroll down. And the funny part about it is I see some people, you know, saying, okay, click here to enter your email and address, and we'll call back, you know, we'll call you back. But the problem with that is, you know, they enter their email, their address. By the time you find out, by the time you call them back, they might get cold. So here, you get the copy and you immediately go right to the shopping cart, and it asks you to take an action. So it just takes you like 2 steps closer to a sale, which means that it's going to be probably 200 times more effective, because every time somebody has to take an action, then you're going to lose some of that conversion and some of that effectiveness. Okay, next slide, please. So let's look at this one. What are the main conversion tactics used in the following conversion pages? So let's look at this for a second. Now, this right here, by the way, if you guys want to see that page before this, write this down really quick. It's going to be www.chinoheelsfatflush.com. And also it's going to be www, I have another one, chinoheelsrapidfatloss.com. So you guys can go and check those pages out for yourself. And this one right here, this right here is actually, I'm running an ad to this right here. And this is a video sales letter. Now, unless you've been, hiding under a rock somewhere and you really don't know anything about marketing, video sales letter are absolutely killing it. I mean, killing it in the online industry, because it gives you the ability of a human's voice with pictures, and it's going to be able to convert to clients. Now, if you this page right here, for those of you who don't later on want to go check it out, is www.thefatlossdoctor, doctor spelled out, .com. And when you land on this page, you don't even see the get started button. When you land on this page, all it says is transform your body forever in 42 days in flat, and there is like a presentation that comes in. A presentation that says it involves a little, this is a secret that I found. It involves a little bit of body science that I found out, that you need, different workouts for different body types, and I talk about the endomorph and the ectomorph and the mesomorph and how they need to train differently and how they need to have different nutrition. And if you've been doing the same workout that everybody else is doing, then you really are not going to get the results that you want. Like I said, and there's nothing in there that says get started. There's nothing, no pictures. But right around 8 minutes of this presentation, because I already built trust, because they already got to like me, they already see the presentation of the science, they already are convinced. Right around 8 minutes of this presentation, then this button and all the social proof appears. Because if they land right here on this page, before you have built trust and before they've liked you and you already said get started, they're going to leave. They're like, well, I don't know what you want. I don't know who you are. Why the hell am I going to get started with you? Because I don't even know. So you're just trying to sell me something. But in the beginning, they don't see that. They just get the presentation. And around 8 minutes or so, also after I build the trust and credibility and authority, remember authority, then I pop them with a question. The same way you would pop a question to go on a date, the same way you're going to pop a question when you ask someone to marry you. You can't just pop the question right away. You got to build trust, authority. You got to get them to know you, like you, and trust you before you ask that question. And then also another way that the get started button and everything else on the bottom comes up is actually if they stopped it. If they stop the video, then it pops up. So then it gives them a chance to see the social proof and everything else. But in the beginning, you don't want to show them anything about getting started until you have, build them the trust. You're not going to, if somebody comes into your facility, you want to give them a tour, let them know what you do, build that trust, build that rapport before you throw them the price sheet. It's just common sense. But sometimes common sense is not that common, and we don't do that online. And if you get a chance, please go to thefatlossdoctor.com, because that right there is killing it. And as a matter of fact, on the West Coast magazine this month, I have a very, kick-ass ad that says, stop. Basically stop working out. Your workout is not, your workout program is failing you. That's why you're not getting results. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And it shows the 3 different body types, free presentation, bullet points of what you're going to learn, and go to the Fat Loss Doctor. and that right there is going to kill it. Okay, Neil, if you go to the next slide, please. Okay, so let's talk about traffic a little bit. Okay, so this is what we did as for Groupon, and I mean, we crushed it. I mean, thanks to my homeboys in Chi-Town. Shout out to Chi-Town, baby. you know, we sold 905, and I think this has been unprecedented. In there, and thanks to the awesome website that Craig, my boy Craig, Dustin, Jamie and Neil all put together. I mean, they just did first class work. But we really went above and beyond, and set up a shopping cart correctly. We got everybody's. We automated everything. Thanks also to our admin. We just totally killed it. So, with the Groupon results, here's why we sold 905. 905. So we have 3 locations strategically placed. My Chi-Town partners, they know the area. They went out there and they picked the best of the best location. Okay. Then what we did is we made sure we run a weekend deal. The best time to run on Groupon is Saturday. So Saturday is always going to be the busiest. Sunday is slow, but if you can do a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, then you're going to really, really kill it, because then you're going to get the best of both worlds. Okay. So as far as what else we did, okay. So prior to Groupon going live, my partners are all of them, since they're from Chi-Town, they notified a list of people on Facebook and send them to the deal. Let them know that the deal is coming through. Okay. Also, Google pay-per-click and Facebook ads ran, we ran ads for 2 days to the Groupon page. I mean, think about it. If that's that great of a deal, it's $40, usually $197, it's $150 savings. You want people to know about it. So if you can get, a Facebook, ad or a Google ad that's going to cost you maybe, altogether maybe, $1 or $2 to acquire, maybe at $3, maybe say $5 to acquire a person, to that deal and get that deal. Well, guess what? You should do that, and most people don't do that. So that's why we had that viral effect going. And then also, my boy Dustin also did a great job, answered the discussion board live, drove more traffic, and then Craig also did a great job. Dustin put a Q&A there, and these guys are just professionals, and we could never ever have done anything like that without them. So shout out to Dustin and Craig. Thanks, guys. Next slide. So there's always room to improve. So what can we done better? Of course you can always done better. That's why every time you do it, you want to get better and better and better. The minute that you're going to say, oh man, we sold 905, I'm happy, this and that. No. You're not going to get better. So next time, man, if I don't do 1,000, I'm putting it out right there. I'm going to go right up to the Trump Tower, up top of Chicago, and I'm jumping. I'm going to write to the Trump Tower, man. I'm hanging myself if we don't do 1,000 next time. Here it is. I'm putting on this. And I know Neil is probably recording this. I'm going to put this on Super.
Recording live.
I'm out of my words, baby. I'm going to jump. So, okay. So either that, I'm just going to run naked through the downtown Chicago or something. One of them two.
That's more believable. We got you into it.
Okay. So what we could have done better is run a special offer immediately to Groupon clients the day after the deal was closed, and run some Google remarketing to new clients. And Neil later on is going to talk about that in a little bit. And also what we did yesterday, we didn't do it immediately, but we did it yesterday. We actually sent out an email to all of our clients, and the email says something like this. All the clients that signed through Groupon says, and the subject line was post Groupon special, and it says, hey Mrs. Jones, we've been getting bombarded. First of all, welcome to the Chi-Town Bootcast. We really appreciate you. We're looking forward to, getting you in shape. We've been getting bombarded with people's family and friends asking us if they can get a Groupon deal, and the answer is no. Because we've told, we have a deal with Groupon and told them that we cannot give them the same deal, and we cannot ever, match that price with anybody else, and we have to keep our word. So it got me to thinking, and here's my thought. So since I can't give the Groupon deal at $40, until this Friday, for all your family and friends that to refer us, we can give you the deal at $41. So this way, you get this pretty much the same deal. We keep our word to Groupon, and everybody's happy. But we can only do it this Friday. So please make sure you forward this email to all your family and friends so they can enjoy the same deal. So that should be a very good campaign. Okay. Also, what we did was we should have asked everyone to like our Facebook fan page immediately as a condition for taking up on a Groupon offer. So in this way, to get updates about Groupon deal. That's something that we're definitely going to set up next time as a redirect after they sign up. Now, here's a new ninja strategy that we talked about. Run a special offer targeting new Groupon clients on Facebook to get their friends to get the same offer as they did. So if we have the email addresses of the people, and we do, that signed up, then what we can do is we can go find them on Facebook, and then we can run a special to their friends. How cool is that? And tell them to go in there and get the same deal, or get them for $41, and that's something that we're totally going to be on top of next time. So, what we're going to do next time also is immediately start Facebook remarketing to existing customers. And that's something that's, in Neil's forte, and he's going to talk about in a little bit. Next, please.
Okay, thank you, Sam. So what we're going to do for the next section very quickly, and I know time's running out, is I'm going to talk about the next traffic strategy that Sam and I are working on, and that's something that we're testing diligently. And as a private client of ours, hopefully over the next couple of months, we will implement this for you as well. But we want to do the testing first and get the real data. So something very new is happening in the world of traffic and pay-per-click traffic right now. So let me ask you a question. What if you spend money on pay-per-click advertising, right? The person does not sign up. But what if they surf on other websites, but your ad automatically ends up popping up and following them? What would this mean for your business? Okay, so let me give you a little weird story here. All of you know Chi-Town's pretty cold and it snows pretty bad in the wintertime. So around December of last year, I decided to go buy de-icing fluid, and I buy them in bulk so that it gets delivered to my home and I can store them in my car and literally pour them on the windscreen when it gets really freezing cold here. And what happened is I went to Amazon and I clicked on some de-icing fluid ads. But for the next 3 days, I think it was 3 or 4 days before Christmas, every website I ended up was only showed de-icing ads. Bottles of de-icing ads for $10 or $20 or $30. And it was the weirdest thing. I opened my emails. I went to different websites. I went on CNN. I went on, the news-related sites, some sports sites. Everywhere I went, I saw the same exact ads. For a while, it was really weird. I thought something was wrong with my computer or someone was actually following me. And what I figured out then is that Google now has this new idea called remarketing. And what remarketing is, it's the next evolution in traffic generation. So what it means is if someone clicks on your ad and comes to your website and they don't take any action on your website, they don't sign up for your newsletter, they don't want to sign up for your bootcamp, or they leave, you can get Google to follow that person. So if that person goes and surfs on any other websites that they like, your ad automatically follows them and will start appearing on that website. It's something Google started around May or June of last year. Some of the big companies were pushing it in November, December, and this is a new concept, a relatively new concept that we believe that can just give you the edge over the next couple of months. It can literally turn or make your pay-per-click campaigns into a positive campaign. So if you're spending money and no one's taking action, your ad can follow that person around. So here's how it works if you're interested in doing it right now. Okay. By the way, these pictures are directly from Google, so there's no copyright issues here, and I just want to make sure that's clear that I've taken this information directly from Google itself. Okay. So step one, a user visits your site and you have an ad on your site. Now your ad can either be a text ad or a banner ad. Some of the ads Sam was suggesting, get 90% off your fitness deals or 2-week free trials, whatever ad you have on your website. Okay, so step one is you set up your ad on your website through Google. Step two, you go to a tab called Manage Audiences in Google. So what the audience does is that Google asks you to create an audience list, and you'll see why this is important in a second, because there's different people that actually surf your website. There could be past customers who are coming to your website again. Okay, so if they're a customer, you typically do not want to, let that ad follow them because they're already coming to your bootcamp or to your personal training. So there's no need for them to buy again. Or there could be someone brand new. So you go into Google and you create an audience, and you create different audience lists depending on the people that actually visit your website. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the technical details now. We'll go over this in the next section, the next time we meet. But the third thing is, once you activate this campaign, here's the big insight of what happens. So let's assume you have your website. Okay, so Google saves the information in your list. When someone comes and searches, Google actually tags that piece of ad. Okay, it puts it into your list, into your luxury hotel list. Now that individual looks for hotels, goes to other news sites. They go to CNN, they go to any of the favorite sites in the Google Content Network. Google will automatically display your ad in every other site that they're visiting. Okay, so you can specify which sites your ad wants to be displayed, and it'll actually follow that person because they have a cookie in it. Now, I don't want you to understand any of the technical terms. I'm just giving you the extra information just in case you want to apply it yourself right now. But here's the two most important things. To get maximum value out of this, you can either have a display ad, like a little banner, which I strongly suggest, so the banner can follow that person, or you can have little text ads that will show up every time that person visits other site. Now you may be asking the question, so how is this any different than you putting an ad on the other site? What happens is that Google is not following the website or the ads on the website. Google is following the user. And as soon as that person clicks on your website, wherever that user goes, Google is showing your ad to that user first. And that whole concept of the idea is called remarketing. Okay, so this is one of the keys, the new things that we're testing out with Sam. Thanks, Sam, for spending some of your money for doing this, and we'll make this available to your clients. So we're going to let Sam spend some money on this. He doesn't know that yet. And what we would do is, here's the biggest benefits of it, right? Okay, so one reason retargeting will work is you need a lot of visitors to your site. So if you only have 1 or 2 people visiting your website, chances are it's not worth doing remarketing, because you can only target one person. The ad will only follow one person around. So, and sometimes Google may not show up the ad. So you're going to need some traffic on your website. And we're working with a lot of you on Facebook and SEO, and hopefully we'll start ramping that up quite significantly for you over the next couple of weeks once we set it up. Now, here's what remarketing can do, and here's the real ninja idea behind this. You can remarket to new users. So anyone that's new that leaves your site, you can remarket to them. You can remarket to existing customers. So say, for example, you have someone that joins your personal training business or your boot camp, but you want to sell them vitamins or supplements or workout gear. You can put an ad on your site. When they come and click it and go away and they go to different sites, you can now target these people selling different products. Or maybe you have a membership site. You can even target them to go into the membership site. Okay, you can even exclude ads from showing to customers who already bought from you, and we kind of cover that. So all I want to do at this stage is just give you some food for thought and show you some of the ninja ways that you can apply this to drive more traffic, more business, and dominate your market once you have all the pay-per-click and SEOs type of stuff set up for you. Okay, I apologize to everyone. We don't have much time on the call. We've got another 15 minutes to take Q&A. So Sam has graciously volunteered to share his time with our private clients on a monthly basis. So on the next call, here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to show you how to extend the Groupon deals using some Ninja squeeze pages and remarketing. Sam covered that. We're actually going to do testing on that. We're going to run the numbers. We're going to run the ads, and we'll try to show you as much results as possible in the next session. Also, uh, we're going to be doing some remarketing directly for Sam. We're going to set that up. So what we're going to do is, I showed you the idea of remarketing, but we're going to take this one more step further. I'm going to show you how to use free SEO traffic. Okay, so some of you may not be running pay-per-click ads, maybe running SEO traffic to your site. I'm going to show you how to use that SEO traffic and run ads to an SEO traffic. So you can think about it. SEO plus remarketing is like almost like a knockout punch, right? Almost no one is doing this in the marketplace. We're going to run some tests on this, and it's a very, very advanced strategy. And we're going to show you how to get people to follow you if they come from SEO and PPC as well. So these are some of the advanced things that we have going on over the next couple of months, and as our private clients, we will share them with you, and I personally will commit to helping implement all of this as part of your program as we progress through the next couple of months once we have everything set up. Okay. Um, okay, Sam. I think that's what we had in terms of prepared comments for today. So here's what we'd like to do next. Okay, if you have a question, could you please do me a favor? Could you pop your question into the Q&A box, and I will read it out to Sam, and you can have the ability to talk to and then Sam will answer live. Um, if you have a question. Alternatively, if you want to talk live, here's how you do this. All you need to do is raise your hand next to your name. I'll open up the lines. We'll take your question. Sam will answer your call, and then I will mute you again, and then you just put your hand down. So if you have any questions, you can either type them in the question box, or alternatively, raise your hands, and I will talk to you live and try to take your questions.
Man, Neil, does the system works, for your wife? Can I mute her too?
You know what? In the next presentation, we're gonna figure out.
We're gonna teach Sarah how to do that too.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? We'd be happy to take it. And by the way, Sam charges a fortune for consulting every single month. So now's the time to get your questions answered specifically. And it doesn't have to be on the material today. So if you have any other traffic or conversion related questions you want to brainstorm with Sam, feel free to ask it. I hope the control panels are using. Sam, do you have any final words or thoughts that you want to?
No, it's like, I'm looking forward to always testing and tweaking different things. It's almost like, like a mad scientist, get up every morning and see what I can do to test and tweak to increase the conversion rate or increase the traffic and, bottom line, increase, my revenue. Um, and that's what we do here. We do what we do in our business to see what works. And once we find out what works, then we release it to our private clients and to show them exactly what needs to be done in their business. And that's the beauty of it, because a lot of people talk about things in theory, and since I do have businesses, live businesses, gyms and boot camps, I'm right in the trenches, and every day, I get in there and see what I can do to tweak my website, what I can do to tweak my pay-per-click, what can I do to tweak the search engine optimization, what can I do to increase the referrals, what can I do with mobile marketing, and it's just awesome to be able to be in this position and not have to worry about training clients and just working on my business and learning so many different things, and be able to pass on that to you guys. And with my awesome partners in Chicago, my awesome partners here in the LA area, and my couple of virtual assistants in Philippines. We're working really hard to give you the best of the best. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys every month and giving you great content on Super Trader. And I really appreciate
Sam, we,
everything.
we do have a few questions, a lot of questions that's come in. Firstly, I have Asia. Asia, I've unmuted your phone, so if you're on the line, Asia, you can say hi, and you can ask
Hey,
Sam directly. How are you, Asia?
I'm Ryan. How are you? Can you guys hear
Good.
me?
Awesome.
Hi, Aja.
Hey, Sam, what's up? Okay, so my question for you is like, what has been the prospect to client conversion strategy that you have used so far? Like right now for my boot camps, I do like a 1 week free trial, but I saw like on these web pages you have like the 21-day thing or the 42-day thing, and like people pay before they even come in. Do you find one works higher more often than the other? And like, what is your conversion rates versus people who come in for like a week trial or for free, or versus people who pay and like upsell? Like, how do you do that?
It's a great question. The 14-day fat flush and the 21-day rapid fat loss. I don't push that to cold traffic. That goes to, for example, a list uh, of past clients, or or if I want to just get some people that to try out our boot camp. I
Mm-hmm.
would never put that like on my website. Hey, try it out for $47 or anything like that. However, Asia, I'm a firm believer, and pardon my French, but I don't like to give shit away for free either. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and to me, if you give stuff away for free, that it decreases your authority. Remember, authority.
Right.
That was one of the weapons of influence. So, and I'm not saying you got to charge top dollar for it, but you got to get people to part at least with something. And
Right.
in my opinion, just get them to part with a dollar. Get them part with dollar, just to get them to wipe out their credit card, take out their wallet, and give us $1. We'll give you $1. At least we know that they're willing to part with $1, and they're willing to part with something. And when somebody is willing to part with something, they're willing to part with a little bit more and a little bit more, and this way you can ascend them to higher price items. Now, again, one of the weapons of influence was what? Was commitment and consistency. So if somebody is committed to give a dollar, then they're willing to give more and more at a later time. Does that make sense, Arjun?
Yes. So
So
you charge like at least $1. What about for like your personal training programs? Like, what's the offer you put out to them?
same. It could be anything. It could be like, okay, if you want to come in and try out a personal training session, you can try out a personal trainer for the first time for $10. Okay, I mean,
Okay.
if not, what does a personal training session cost? Anywhere between 50 to $80 an hour, right?
Right.
A session, a half an hour, whatever it is. Okay,
Right.
so they know, if somebody is really serious, then they're gonna give, they don't mind trying out for $10. It's not like you're trying to make money off of it,
Right.
but at least they're serious. Let me give you an example, Aja. I need this, and again, this is just, because I study marketing and I study, everything that's happening to not only our industry but every industry. But matter of fact, I got to post a blog post saved as a draft, and one of these days I'm going to have the guts to actually, uh, draft, actually release it. But it is entitled "What Personal Trainers Have in Common with the Porn Industry." Okay, and if porn industry used to just make a killing online, because all these perverts will go in there, and they put their credit card and they will get access to this, to videos. Okay, but now the porn industry started giving away. Oh well, we're giving away 30 seconds for you to watch the trailer. Then they give it away 1 minute. They give away 5 minutes. Now it's pretty much free. So now nobody can sell anything. Porn is not selling because you can go out there online, find it for free, and now the porn industry is struggling. The adult industry is totally, totally, totally struggling. Same thing with personal
Mm.
trainers. I mean, I see, okay, we're going to give you one session. Oh, we're going to give you 5 sessions. Well, we're going to give you 2 weeks. We're going to give you 1 week. We're going to give you a month. Where is it going to stop?
Right.
So you got to value yourself, and let them know you value yourself, and you're not going to take it. take them seriously. I mean, if you go to a doctor, you know, say you wanted a heart surgery, and you go to a heart surgeon and they say, well, free evaluation of your heart, and then you went to a heart surgeon and said, uh, you know, it's going to cost you a couple of $1,000s to evaluate your heart. Which one would you really want to go see?
Right.
You know, so
Okay.
Okay. Is Ajay, is that all the questions you had?
I think so.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute you for a second. I'm going to take another question, and then we'll come back to you. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds fair?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, AJ. We'll come back to you. So if you have a question, please go ahead and type them. You raise your hand and we'll get to you. Okay, Sam, I just want to make sure we take another question here.
sure.
Give everyone a chance. Okay, this comes from Damien. Hey, Damien, thanks for attending. Firstly, okay, so here's the question. It's a bit of a long question. What is the long-term conversion of Groupon clients as opposed to attracting tire kickers? Is the product devalued? What are the thoughts of current clients if new clients get to test a one-fourth of the price of current clients? Did you get that, Sam? Do you want me to repeat it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a great question. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I mean, if you are positioning yourself, if you're going to position yourself as the Rolls Royce of personal training, the Rolls Royce, I'm talking about like you have a standalone location, you got top of the line equipment, you know, I'm talking about, you know, top of the line service, everybody's in uniform, you know, you can't find a speck of anything wrong with your facility, you know, and you know your trainers are top notch. I'm talking about you are not that you think you're the Rolls Royce, but you are the Rolls Royce, because we have a lot of trainers that think that they're the Rolls Royce, but we know better, right? So if you are the Rolls Royce at the top of the food chain, then Groupon probably doesn't make sense for you, because you are going to be devaluing your services, you know, and I agree with that, because you know you can't be Toyota and you can't be Rolls Royce at the same time. So you know that's that. But however, if you are a facility that's, you know, some is depending on some kind of a volume of people coming through. And remember, Rolls Royce, they don't need to sell a lot of cars. You know, they sell a few thousand cars a year, they're good to go. Now, Toyota sell a few thousand cars a year, they're going to be bankrupt. So one is more of, you know, low volume, high price ticket, and then the other one is a you know, high volume, low price ticket. So that's in any business. Now, if you're somewhere in the middle, or you know, you need the volume, then Groupon makes perfect sense. If you know, because then what you do is, you anytime you get in front of people that are even somehow interested in the service that you provide, obviously they bought, you know, they're willing to pay a certain amount of dollars to get in there with the Groupon, then you should always get in them. You know why? First of all, and you know, you gotta, you know, if they're interested, is your job to make sure you do a great job, you give them a great workout, you have, you know, have great personality, make them feel like they're a part of you, and then convert them. You know, one of my coaching clients, Jeff Sherman, he has a near 30% conversion from you know, you know, from Groupon to actual clients. So for example, you know, in our case, if we do a 30% conversion of the 900, that's 270 new clients that we got. So that's you know, that's as far as that. Now, like I said, you have to have the systems in place. You gotta have you gotta have all the systems in place for you to be able to make sure that you'll be able to convert them. You know, one of my favorite strategies, no matter what we do online, no matter what we do as far as the prospect to client conversion and everything is, one of my the best way to sell, you know, anybody is in person. So what I do is I have my, you know, bootcamp partner Alejandra here, meet with them at the assessment time, and we also meet with them 3 weeks into their workout, the last week in their workout, just to see how they're doing. We set up autoresponders for them. We, you know, we check, you know, we send them text messages to make them feel that they're at home, that this is the place that belong to. You know, so and as far as your other question, Damien, was would other would other uh, clients feel like what they devalued or anything like that? Again, I think it depends on what kind of facility you're running. Hey, if you never see Rolls Royce on sale, you never see Ferraris on sale. Matter of fact, when I bought my Ferrari, I had to pay $35,000 over invoice over the what they asked me for as far as the sticker price was, and they go all day long. But however, you see Hondas on sale, you see Toyotas on sale, and once in a while you might even see Beamers on sale. Okay, but you'll never see that. So just you have to ask yourself a question. I mean, if I bought a Ferrari, I definitely do not want to see a Ferrari sale. If I bought a Rolls Royce, I do not want to see a Rolls Royce because I'm the top of the line, I'm at the top of the chain, and money shouldn't be an object. And then again, if you're training Oprah, then I don't think you need to sell. You train Bill Gates and you train those type of clients, then I think Groupon was definitely a bad idea. However, if you're training normal everyday clients, and we're from, average household clients, then I don't think that's a problem. And matter of fact, I've never had a problem, running a Groupon because they know that's just a limited time offer and it's only served to, new members only. I hope that answered your question.
Excellent. Thank you, Sam. Okay, so the next question we have is, do you do the conversion online or over the phone or in person?
Well, as far as the Groupon is concerned, so do we do the conversion online, or on the phone, or in person? Okay, great question. Okay, well, through the prospect to client funnel that I've created, and we, when what we try to do is always try to get them while they're hot. Okay, so as soon as they redeem, they get the voucher, they they give us $1, and they schedule their assessment. Once they schedule their assessment, they give us $1, then it automatically sets up the upsell, which is a video, of one of my bootcamp partners saying, hey, thank you for coming for this page. I'm got a really good, awesome special for you right now. You'll never see this special ever again. While you're here right now, you're already ready to get started. I'm going to give you an unbelievable offer for a year, and the offer is, for example, like $11.64. But you got to do it right now because if you lift this page, you'll never get it again. If they say great, awesome. They say no, they go to the next page, and we offer them the 3 months upgrade. For example, hey, a year might be too long of a commitment, but if you do 3 months, it's going to be $497. You'll never see this offer again. Cool. So they either take one of the upsells or the downsells, but if they don't, and most of the time, most of them don't, especially on a new business. Okay. Now, if your business has been around for a long time and you have some track record of somebody that's been there, like here in California, my business has been here for a long time. So my conversion right online is a lot higher than the conversion in Chicago because Chicago is a brand new business. We didn't even open up before we hit the Groupon. That's how brilliant we did Chicago. So, but if you had some track record of being there and you're established, your conversion rates will be a lot higher. In here, in California, online, we converted 12% to 3 months, and we converted 4% to 1 year. And in Chicago, I don't know the exact numbers right now, but I'm thinking is a lot less than that. Now, like I said, the best way to convert them though is when you meet with them in person. Why? Because they actually get to see somebody, get to see the place, and you have to be as enthusiastic as possible. And they get a great workout. When they get a great workout, right there and then they're already in a good mood with the endorphins and the enkephalins released. And then you sit down with them after their first workout. Hey, Mrs. Jones, how was your first workout? Great, awesome. Thank you so much. We have all your information. Hey, I want to give you one more chance, to let me know if you're going to take us up on the special upsell and downsell that we offer you online. We'll give you a couple of days for you to think about it, but let us know. And that offer will be good till Friday. And boom, that way you can totally crush all the online numbers. And that's why a lot of times when people are pitching like their coaching program, They do it, you know, in person. When I was at that, Chris McCombs event, and I uh, I pitched my coaching program. It was like 20 people in the room, and I think I closed six. But if I send an email out right now about my coaching program to 2,000, 3,000 people, I probably won't even get six. So the power of human being there is a lot more powerful than anything we can do online.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. If you don't mind, I'm just going to add one more resource to that if people want to take advantage of it. In Chicago, I think Dustin can correct me if I'm wrong. We've got a 60% closure rate of people that walk into the gym, and it's because of three things. It's the trainers are doing an awesome job. Dustin's got a specific script that are converting them. What we're doing is we have an admin assistant doing a check-in call to follow up with them, and then Sam is doing some text messaging. So we're hitting them three times, and the conversion rate has been good as well. So thanks for that.
By the way, I'm sorry, to
Sure.
interrupt. That Dustin is a system king. He's the spreadsheet maniac. What that's going to be his new thing. I mean, he had a protocol to how to go to the bathroom. I think. Love him.
Yeah, it works awesome. It's unbelievable, the stuff that Dustin's got going on. Okay. Okay, the next question. If you're currently working with Groupon clients and they're still coming in, would you blast the list of people that didn't continue with a special rate to get them back in? Also, what would you do right now to maximize conversions for Groupon people in the program? This question is from Sako.
Great question, Sako. Great question, man. My Armenian buddy, man, always pushes the envelope. Gives me the hard questions. Okay, great. I know for a fact that people who don't continue, if people are walking away from they're doing a Groupon deal, and say our Chicago Groupon was $40, right? And then they say, you know what, it was great, thank you, but I can't continue for $197 a month, this and that, will you let them walk? Of course not. And here's why. And that's the beauty of the boot camp model. Because Sako, no matter if you have 5 person in the room or 50 person in the room, it doesn't increase your overhead at all. Now with personal training, it's difficult, because if you do one-on-one training, for every person that you have in there, you have to have either you training them or you're going to have a person in them. So your payroll always chases your revenues. With a boot camp, it doesn't. So the question to that is, definitely, if they're going to walk away and for whatever reason or not, maybe offer them, hey, what if I tell you that you can continue for $97 a month for the next month, and see how it does. And usually what I try to do is, because our boot camps, Sako, here is 6 days a week here in California. I tell my my boot camp partner Alejandra, I tell her, say, hey, why don't you, what if you offered you 3 times a week a boot camp for $97, so that they know that they can't get the same thing that everybody else is paying for $197. And but most people, we know, they go to boot camp like 3 days a week anyway. So it's a total win-win, so that this way none of your other clients think that they're overpaying. Does that make sense?
Excellent. Thank you, Sam.
And then there was a second part of that question.
What would you do right now to maximize conversions for Groupon people in the program?
Yeah, like I said, make sure that we have them on autoresponders. We constantly, are following up with them through email. We're going, through a text, and most importantly, once we did the assessment, we should check back with them and reassess them 1 week prior to when they're going to finish.
Excellent. Okay, Sam, we have a few more questions. I think we also have Aja, who's got her hands up, and I promised to get back to her.
Okay.
Let's see if Aja has a few more questions, and then thank you everyone for waiting. I know it's over the 1 hour mark, but we'll try to get through this as fast as possible. Aja, are you on the call?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm still here.
go for it.
Actually, Sako kind of asked my one question, but my question is like I have limited staff, limited time, and like sometimes doing like assessments and um, meeting and talking to 20 or 30 people over the course of the day, of like in between classes, is really difficult and not really possible because I've been trying to figure out the best way to like convert these people, and like meeting with them like on a one-on-one basis is, I don't know, like I don't know how you deal with that.
Well,
Tell me.
if they want if meeting them one on one, if meeting them one on one, it's it's difficult. Then I suggest organize it in a group, and say, what, assessments are being done at either 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Mondays, and do their
Okay.
assessment, do their assessment in a group, and get and get them, and do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Aja. I'm gonna mute you for a second. Okay, if anyone wants to talk live to Sam, just please raise your hands and we'll do that. And since we're running over time, I'm gonna take maybe one or two more questions here.
Neil, do we have their addresses? Everybody's address?
Yes, Sam, you will get
Okay.
that.
Just as we're going to run overtime, man, just let them know they're getting a bill.
Yeah, we'll text them. Makes sense. Okay, I think. Hang on a second. I think everyone's asked us. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to run through to see who's got more questions. Okay, awesome. There's just Damien's got a response. Just, thanks, Sam. They've got professional videos and photos done with testimonials. They have target Rolls-Royce clients, and they're going to try the Flat Flush Week program. They're also going to name it the Fitness Academy as opposed to Boot Camp to differentiate them with their members and their membership site. Awesome. Okay. Um, okay. Damien's got a question. Who are you using for web designs at the moment?
Who am I using for web designs? As far as the graphics is concerned, right?
I'm assuming that, Damien. If you wouldn't mind just clarifying, we're assuming it's graphics. If not, just type in your answer and we'll clarify for you. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and answer that question, Sam? Thanks.
Well, as far as the graphics is concerned, I like Devin. I use Devin from website Fitness Formula. He's really good. I also have a couple of other resources. One of them, his name is Andy, and a couple of other resources that I have. One of them is Leslie in San Diego, and Christian Aguirre's client is also a good resource for graphics. I like to have, pretty much for everything, I like to have a few different resources so that if one resource is not getting back to me, I'm not relying on just that one resource. If I want to get something done and that person is being late and that person can't do it. So I suggest always be out, and having, a graphic designer, a webmaster, and everything. As for everything, you got to have a couple of different resources and making sure that you find the right person.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. I think that's it. I think that's all the questions we've had. And if there's any more, we'll probably take one or two more questions and then we'll call it a day. So if you have any questions, you can just type them in the box below. I think I've answered everything. Okay, that's it. If we don't have any more questions, I just want to say thank you. And then Sam, also thank you for being on the call and volunteering your time. Really appreciate that. And what we'll do is, we will plan to have these calls scheduled on a monthly basis. And then, as private clients of Sam's and I will be in touch with you once we have your campaigns up and running and being set. and we'll talk about the more advanced type of strategies. And after Sam's graciously volunteered to pay for the test results, I'll share some of that with you and run up that for your campaigns. And that's one of the value that we want to, deliver to you on an ongoing basis is do some of the testing and the ads and stuff like that, and really help you build and grow this as we move this forward. Sam?
Oh, it's just a pleasure, man. To be in a position that I don't have to, work like I used to on the floor, and being able to work on my business and just growing my business that way. And it just even a bigger pleasure and a bigger uh, sense of being to be able to do these and share it with everyone. So we can help them blow their business up and give them the freedom that they want. It's the same. It's weird. I was thinking about it the other day, and I remember like the first time I got somebody in really really good shape, and and it felt so good, and that's why I fell in love with personal training. And every time I got somebody in shape and changed their life and made their life better, it just gave you the feeling that nothing in the world could. And now I'm getting the same feeling as helping people with their business and helping with their business and helping them grow their business. And not only like I said, it's not about just making more money. It's about just having more time and having the freedom and having everything that you want without worrying where your next meal is coming from and where your next paycheck is coming from. Having the time for me. The most important thing is going and spending time with my daughter, my family, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a pleasure for me to be in this position and helping you, helping everybody else out.